So today we've got the news that the UK economy is struggling under the new government, and I'd like to say it's a surprise, but it's not. As you guys know on the YouTube channel, for the last kind of couple of weeks and months since this government have come in, I've been saying to you guys, this is not going to end well, and unfortunately today we once again started to see the cracks in the UK economy, and we're going to have a look at that today. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Hit the like button. Let's get started. So it came out today that the UK economy did shrink unexpectedly by 0.1% in October. It was expected to be a month of growth in this period. Now, I cannot believe that people are expecting growth in this period of time. I think I've been here for most of the time since this government came in saying they're making completely the wrong decisions if they want the economy to grow in the UK. This is not going to end well, and we are seeing that data come through now. I don't even know who was expecting growth. I can't believe the headline is unexpectedly shrunk by 0.1%. This was obvious, in my opinion. This was obvious that we were going to have a UK economy starting to struggle during the month of October and into November and December. At the moment, it's not in a good place, and that comes from the leadership that we currently have in the UK. Unfortunately, the UK government that we currently have is not supporting UK growth, and that is going to start impacting more and more. And I don't know how long people are going to be willing to put up with this poor economic growth before eventually they turn around and say, we've had enough. You are killing our economy here. And the signs was already there between July and September, but as the fear started building up, as the budget started coming in and some of the changes and the tax hikes that were going to happen in the UK, it started to impact businesses more and more. And that's what's happened. We've seen businesses, we've seen people getting nervous around the tax hikes that have come in. We had a government that wanted the easy way out. They went, you know what, we're going to pass this on to private businesses, and they thought there were going to be no repercussions from passing this on, but they are now starting to see it. They are starting to see the businesses starting to get a little bit nervous around their spending. They're turning around, they're saying to businesses and employees, saying, look, you think you're getting a pay rise this year. Unfortunately, you're not going to get a pay rise this year, because what we would give you has to go to the increased costs of the likes of the NI, for example. And that is making businesses nervous to kind of spend, give people increase of the wages. And what we're seeing is people a little bit nervous to pull back, because they're looking at the back of their mind thinking, you know what, next year, you know that pay rise that I normally get every year, I might not be getting it this year, because that's all going in tax. And that's the big impact that you have starting going on at the moment. It's the knock-on effect about the nerves that people are just getting taxed more and more, and that's going to start impacting them. And that's what happens to the UK economy. People are getting nervous about going out there and spending at the moment, and that's what you can't do. We have already started seeing this with the likes of JD Sports that said in October time they saw a big slowdown in October, and without doubt that came from the awful budget that we started seeing. And they just think the current government out here thinks they can just keep taxing people with no repercussions here. It needs a big change of plan. This doesn't work. Going out and taxing more and more people isn't going to increase the economy's activity. If you want to have a successful economy, you need to get people spending more money. You need to give people confidence. Taxing more people, taxing more of the companies is not going to get the economy going. This is basic economics. The basic economics is in the UK is that if you want to have people get more money, if the UK government wants more money to spend, then the economy needs to grow. That's how you have a successful economy, is it grows. And as the economy grows, what you have is that you have the businesses that go, hey, we had a really good year this year. We're going to start paying more of our employees more money. If their employees are getting more money, they go out to the likes of JD Sports, they go spend more money at JD Sports, and that passes on. And if them and people might be saying in the comment section now, Jacob, well, what happens if these companies want to be greedy and they want to make record amounts of profitability? Well, it doesn't matter, because what will happen is there'll be other companies that are saying, we're booming so much, we need to get some more workers because the economy is doing so well, and they'll be offering jobs, and those jobs will be higher salaries than what they're currently getting paid, and then that's even better for the economic activity. So what you have to have is not an economy, not a UK government that is out there taxing people and causing all this fear with all this budget. We're starting to see the impacts of that happen right now from that awful budget that we had. If you want to have a successful company, you've got to give businesses confidence that they can go and do all their business activities. You need to have the employees confident that they're going to get those pay rises and people go spend out on all that money. And you know what that all leads to? As we have those businesses doing more activity, people earning more money, the government makes more in taxes. When you're out there buying things, when you go out there and buy your house, there's more people buying houses, if there's more people out there buying cars, if there's more people just spending every day, the everyday basket goes up to £50 a week. Who's making more money from that? The government. But that's what happened. The government just went for the short-term fix. They went for the short-term fix of how quickly can we make money? We'll just throw a load of tax on people. And they didn't even think about how this is going to affect people that work every day, how it's going to affect the companies and how they're going to do it. They just didn't consider it all. And this is basic economics. And this is the problem, because we have a chancellor here that came out today that they were disappointed with the UK growth. But I'm just there looking at Rachel Reeves today and I'm thinking, what else did you expect? Me in this office right now could tell you this is what's going to happen. And this is the problem, is that at the moment, we have the UK government at the moment that just doesn't seem so out of touch. They seem so uneducated in this space. They seem so uneducated that they don't realise basic economics, where if you go out and tax the heck out of everyone, that they're going to start suffering, make businesses suffer, and people are going to spend less. It's basic economics, but yet we have these people that come into power that don't even understand that. That's the problem that we have in the UK government right now, is that we have people making decisions that don't really understand how businesses even work or basic economics work. And that's the big issue that we currently have right now in the UK. Now, the problem is as well is that because of these big impacts of the NI as well, and people today are coming out and saying, well, if the economy is slowing, hey, at least we're going to get interest rate cuts in the UK. Unfortunately, because we've got, once again, a UK government that's been absolutely ridiculous with these tax hikes and these NI charges on businesses, we're not going to get interest rate cuts. This is the thing, like, interest rate cuts aren't even going to come to try and save the economy. That's not even going to kickstart the economy back into gear, because what we have at the moment is we've got the Bank of England over here saying we're not actually going to do any cuts. We're planning on holding at the moment, because the reason why the Bank of England can't do any cuts to try and save the economy is because of the current UK government. Because what the current UK government have done is what they have with their lazy tactics of raising money by just taxing all these businesses. All these businesses at the moment have gone, we're not taking all this hit. We're not having to pay more on minimum wages that we've already had to pay last year, corporation tax that's increased last year, and now you want us to pay more in national insurance. We're not soaking up any more of these costs. We're going to raise our prices, and that's how we're going to cover all these costs. The fact that Rachel Reeves didn't even think about this, she didn't even consult the UK businesses, are going, well, if we did do this, how are you going to absorb the cost of these NI impacts? She didn't even think about that businesses were just going to start raising prices. And we've just come off a big spike of inflation. But because these businesses in April time are going to have to put all the prices back up again, what we're about to see is the Bank of England say, we can't start doing interest rate cuts because we're going to have inflation at 3 or 4% next year, because every company is raising the prices again because you slapped on these tax hikes. And businesses in the UK just went, and fair play to them, just went, no, we're not soaking up any more of your mess. You're going to have to sort this out. We're going to put all these prices up, and then that's going to cause inflation. So it's only going to get worse for the UK economy at the moment, because the UK economy at the moment is going to have more of this impact as more companies have to keep pricing in this NI situation. You're going to have inflation go up, and you're not going to have interest rates to save the day. And once again, this all comes back down to the current UK government. It all comes back down to the UK government and the lack of knowledge, for an economic knowledge, the lack of awareness of how this would impact businesses and the UK and the consumer. And this also comes from just absolutely ridiculous spending plans. This comes from spending plans where they just out of nowhere started splashing this cash and didn't really consider where they're going to get this cash from. They start handing out these big pay rises to a lot of these public workers at the moment. And this is not me having to go and saying, like, they don't deserve it. Some of these public workers do deserve pay rises. But unfortunately, if you haven't got the money, you can't then go crash the economy just to give them a pay rise. The only way you can go out and get these people these pay rises is by getting the economy going. You get the economy going and there's more growth, everyone's making more money, spending more, then there's more money for the government to go out there and give people them pay rises. That's the basic of economics. We cannot keep dragging the can down the road here where we just keep taxing more people and taxing more people that are bringing the money in to then go splash out. Ultimately, everything needs to be dragged up. And that's the problem. That's the unfortunate thing with the UK at the moment. The UK has the potential to be a good growing economy. It's just been managed so poorly for many years, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating because we've seen what has been very badly managed for the last few years, and you think it can't get any worse, and then you have people come in and make even worse decisions that are going to impact the economy without even considering around the consequences. And that's what's happened. They've come out with all these lazy tax hikes and thinking there'll be no consequences, and we're starting to get in it. And I can't believe people saying this was unexpectedly going to happen. This was as clear as day for me. I was on here for the last kind of couple of months saying, if they do this, this is going to end up with the UK economy crashing. And once again, we have some very, very weak data out, and it's not heading in a good place. And unfortunately, I don't think the government at the moment are even smart enough to realise. I think they're not even smart enough to pivot and realise, actually, you know what, we've done some stupid stuff here. We need to sort this out. I don't think they're even smart enough to realise that. I hope that they pivot and go, actually, you know what, we can't do these tax hikes. We need to get the only way we're going to pay people more and get us out of this situation and give the NHS more money is by getting the UK into growth mode. If we just carry on doing these silly taxes and just taxing anyone that makes any money, they're just going to stop spending. And that's what happens, the knock-on effects where we have the UK in the situation where it is right now, and people stop spending and the economy goes in a mess, we have a recession, and then that's when the poo hits the fan and people are losing their jobs. And that's in a situation where you forget all these tax hikes now, you have a bigger mess to get out of when you're in a big recession. And that's what they'll have to deal with in a couple of months' time if they don't sort this out. So hopefully they realise and have some sort of pivot here, but I don't think they are, and I am worried about where the UK economy is going, and it frustrates me. It frustrates me because we have these idiots that come in that just don't know basic economics and then tell businesses how to run and how they affect the jobs in the job market, because they themselves have no knowledge of how to manage jobs, how to create jobs, how to keep jobs going, how to pay people. They just have no lack of knowledge, and once we are seeing the effects right now today. And like I said, there's no point to these videos, but I just get so frustrated seeing these people that are in power that are just so stupid, yet they're making these decisions, and we all suffer for it. We all suffer for it because they're so stupid. And maybe one day we'll have someone in place that does start making the right decisions, where they do start getting the UK economy going, and we all get the rewards for that. We all get more money, we all get the pay rises, the NHS gets more pay rises. But at the moment, what I thought was quite far away has, unfortunately, with the current UK government, gone very far away, and we're even moving further away from that day of where we're all able to thrive in a good UK economy at the moment. So yeah, not good out there, and very negative tone for a Friday. So I'll try to do a video on Sunday for you guys that's a little bit more positive. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. See you in a bit.